Okay, I hope you all found the worksheets manageable. I'm going to go over the answers for the worksheet now. So here we have it. There we are. So that was the previous worksheet. So remember, the first task was to write in the correct key signature for the key that was stated, and then put in the key note of that key signature. So for instance, if the key was F, you would write in an F. If the key signature was C, you would write in a C, etc. The starting note of the scale, basically. So like I gave you an example there, the key signature there was B flat major, and the first note would have been a B flat, because that would be the first note of the scale of that key. So the second one here, F major was asked for. The key signature of F major is a B flat. It's one flat, B flat. And the starting note would be an F. Now, it doesn't matter which F it is. It can be any F. That's why I've got one there and one in brackets above it as well. So you wanted a B flat and an F as your starting note for the key of F major. C major. This one might have caught a couple of you out, actually. Remember that C major doesn't have any sharps or flats. It's all the white notes on the piano. So there is no key signature for C major. C major does not have a key signature. And the starting note would have been C. So I put middle C there, or you could have had the C above that in brackets there. The next one was G major. G major, the key signature for G major is an F sharp. And the starting note would have been a G. So I've got the G there and the G above in brackets as well. Okay, the next one. So this was to write out the scale of that key. So the key signature was already provided. All you had to do was write in what the notes of that scale would have been. So in this case, it would have just been B flat, C, D, E flat, sorry, F, G, A, and B flat. Pretty straightforward, really. All you need to do is start on a B and then just work your way up step by step. If you got that much right, congratulations. That's all you had to do. That was, that was really the point of that task, just to sort of show your understanding of how scales work and that they do climb up step by step. That's important understanding. Some people do actually struggle to understand that. So the next one was D major. Key signature provided again, same thing, but starting on a D. So we're in D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. Now remember, the key signature of the of whatever key you're in, it tells you what notes are going to be flat or sharp in that key, or what sharps and flats are in the scale of that key. So that's, you wouldn't have to put an E flat there, for instance, because it's already denoted in the key signature. Same for this one, F sharp and C sharp. There is a specific way to write your key signatures, which we will go over later on. But I mean, I don't want to sort of burden you with that at the moment, because you've got to think about. Okay, the next thing was to write out the scales again, but without using a key signature. So at this point, you would have had to add the accidentals in where they were required. So in this case, we would have had a B flat at the beginning, then C, D, E flat, F, G, A, B flat. And you could have probably should have got that from the previous ones. And then D major, obviously starting on a D, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. And hopefully most of you will have used the major scale formula to work that out. If you did that, congratulations. And I'll move on now to what we're going to be doing this week. So we're looking at rests and more rhythms today. So we started in week 1, and week 2 we did a little bit of rhythm as well. So week 1 and 2 were mainly rhythm, but we're going to go back now and revisit rhythm. So first thing we're going to be looking at is rests, which we haven't looked at yet, and then ties and dots. Some of you might already know what ties and dots are. Triplets, which is a rhythmic type of figure. And then we're going to be looking at E flat and A major scales. So I'll try and get through this as quickly and concisely as I possibly can. Remember to stop me if you have any questions. Okay. Rests. So I've got some things here, as I always do. Little sheets. We've got two actually. We've got this one, and we've got this one. Now these will help you understand what rests are. What a rest? Well, you're probably thinking, what is a rest? A rest in music is the word we use to describe silence in music. So if you have a bar of crotchets, say, and then you want 1 or 2 beats where there's nothing, because you don't always want sound in music, you want there to be breaks. You can't, in written music, you can't just have nothing in a bar. You have to have something there to show, you know, where the beats are, really. I'll go into that again some more in a minute. But the most important thing at the moment is to understand what rests look like and their values as well. So which one could I go for first? Right, we'll leave that one for a minute. I'll just put that one over there. So this is a really decent note and rest chart, actually. So here in the first column, you've got the name of the type of rest, and you've got its relative length in time, its time value. Then you've got the note and the rest that is associated with that note. And then in 4/4 time, this last column is telling you how many beats that is in 4/4 time, but that's not really that important. So if we go through a semibreve, okay, the relative length of a semibreve is a whole note, yeah, or 4 beats, which is how we've gone over it. The note looks like that, which you'll all be familiar with. You'll have seen that before. The rest version of it looks like that, okay? So we've got a semibreve, which is worth 4, which is 4 beats in length, and the rest. Now you can see it kind of hangs from the 4th line up. So looks like that one. It's easy to get confused. These two are easy to get confused, so you have to look closely. But a semibreve rest hangs from the top. Then you've got a minim rest, which is a half note, or the American term would be a half note. That's your minim. It's worth 2 beats, which we already know, and its rest looks like that. Now, can you see the difference between those two? That one hangs from the top line, that one sits on the middle line. Now, a good way to remember which one is which is that 4 is a higher number than 2. Up, higher, lower. 4, 2. So if you remember it like that, that will help you, you know, not to get confused about them, because they are very easy to get confused. The next one is a crotchet rest, which is also known as a quarter note. Crotchet looks like that. It's worth 1 beat, and that's its equivalent rest. It kind of looks like a little bit like a bolt of lightning or something, or like a Z with a little C on the bottom or something like that. You will have all seen these before and probably wondered, what the hell is it? Well, that's what it is. It's a crotchet rest. So it's a rest that's worth 1 beat, or it's 1 beat silence. Then we've got quaver rests, which is half a beat, we already know. And its equivalent rest looks like that. It looks like a little 7 or something like that. I always think of it looks like a little 7. I'm not going to go into semi-quavers, but they look like that. There they are anyway. This will all get sent out to you so you can have a good look at your own time. So in time values, we've got 4 beats rest, or 4 beats worth of silence, 2 beats worth of silence, 1 beat's worth of silence, and half a beat's worth of silence. Now, when you mix up, so this would be sounding, and this would be no sound, silence. music and rhythm is made up of a mixture of these. So sound and silence. Depending on where, what the melody is, what the rhythm is, you'll see different mixtures of these. What you have to learn as a music reader is how to interpret that, or how to count it, which is what we're working on. Okay, so the next thing, we've got this table here. Now, this is similar to the table you've seen before, where you had a semi-breve at the top and then its divisions. Remember seeing that? So what we've got here is pretty much the same thing, but in rests this time. We've got a 4-beat rest, and then you split that in half, you get 2 2-beat rests, and then you split those in half, and it's just subdivided each time. That's all it is. And then these ones at the bottom are the semi-quaver rests, okay? So you've got semi-breve rest, minim rests, crotchet rests, and quaver rests. You can have a good look at that in your own time. Okay. Anyone got any questions before I move on to the next thing? No? Okay. Next thing is ties and dots. So ties and dots, where are we? Okay, we've got a couple here for these as well. We've got this tied notes thing here, and this. Now then, what is a tie and what is a dot? First thing I'm going to do is go over ties. What a tie does is it allows you to extend the length of a note value to however long you want it to last. So if you wanted a note to last longer than 4 beats, say, because at the moment, as far as we know, 4 beats is the maximum that a note can last for. But if we wanted a note to last longer than 4 beats, we would have to use what is called a tie. And what a tie does is it links notes together, and it shows you that this note is to be played and this note that it's attached to is not. You just hold it for its time. Yeah. So as you can see here, we've got a crotchet, okay, which is 1 beat, and that crotchet is tied to a minim, which is 2 beats, and that would equal 3 beats. So whereas, oh, by the way, just tell me, can you hear this? We got any sound coming there? No.
No.
Okay. Just have a think. Okay, well, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. So we've got 1 beat there, and then a minim. So that would be, if I were to sing 1 beat, say I'd go la. It's 1 beat.
Oh.
If I were to sing, oh, thanks, Rob. There you go. Rob's singing notes for us now.
No, it's
and then we've got a minim as well.
Crazy.
So if I sang a minim for 2 beats, I would go la. It would end there. Now, if I take a crotchet and then tie it to a minim, that's going to equal 3 beats. So this, I would sing this note, but don't sing this one, but hold it for its relative value. So I would get la. So it would last for 3 beats in that case. A good way for me to show you this, actually, so what I'll do is I'll turn on Sibelius. It's not the greatest sounding thing in the world, but it will show you what I mean. Okay, so we've got, I think this is 4/4. If I put a minim here, yeah, and then I put a minim here and a minim here. Now, what we would get usually would be something like la, 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 like that. But if I tie this one to this one will sound, this one will not sound, but I will hold it over. So what would happen is that would turn that beat into 4 beats then, because it's tied to another 2-beat note. So I would get la, la, like that. Okay. Let me give you another example. Let's have a look. Okay, this is a good one. So I've got a 4-beat note. I know that I can manage this time. So I've got an F there. That's 4 beats. La. I'll put another one here. So what I've got now is la, La. Notice how I took a breath between each note. Now, if I tie this one to that one, what that's going to give me then is an 8-beat note, because I will not sing, I will not have to breathe and replay or re-sing that note. I will just hold it all the way through. So it would go la, like that. Has anyone got any questions about that? No? Okay. So that's how ties work. They're very useful for things like, well, you know, if you want to extend notes. If you ever sing a post in a tag, if you ever sung a tag that has a post in it, which is just one very, very long note held over a few bars, sometimes a lot of bars, you will have noticed ties. So what you'll get is that note, and then you might see something like this. You know, you'd have like 4 bars or something, and then they would all be tied like that. And you'll see that. So what that means is you sing the first one, and then you literally just hold that note as long as you can. So that note is tied to that note, is tied to that note, is tied to that note. So that just extends the length of that note then. Rather than just 4 beats, that would extend it to 16 beats. And that's what they are useful for. Now then, the next thing is dots. Now, dots are similar to ties in a way, but they're a different way of extending notes. They do the same thing. They extend a note's length. Now, this can be quite difficult for some people to grasp. I'll try to make it as clear as I can. So, we've got dots there. Okay. When you see a note with a dot next to the note, not above or below, next to the note, what that does is it increases that note's value by half. So to give you an example, if I put a minim here, the value of that minim is 2 beats. If I put a dot next to that note, well, next to, not, you see how that dot is next to it?
Yeah.
What that does is it extends that note's length by half. So if the note is worth 2 beats, the dot will be worth 1 beat. And together, so what that does in this case is it extends that note's length to 3 beats rather than just to 2, because the dot is worth 1 beat. It's worth half of the note's length. So that is now a 3-beat note. It lasts for 3 beats. The same goes for any other note that I put in or use and then put a dot next to. You can dot any note. You can increase any note's length by half. So this is a crotchet. It's worth 1 beat, which makes the dot worth
half a beat.
Half a beat. So this note is now worth 1.5 beats.
Beats.
Yeah. Thank you, Rob.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. We can do that for any note again. Like I said, we can use it for a semibreve. We can put a dot next to a semibreve. Now, this is going to do something really weird when I put a dot next to this now. It's going to automatically tie it over, like you'll see, watch, because computer software really knows what it's doing. Oh, it won't even let me do it. There you go. But you can dot a semibreve. So a semibreve is worth 4 beats. So if I put a dot next to a semibreve, that's going to make the dot worth 2 beats, because it's half of the length of the note. Put together makes 6 beats. So that would turn that semibreve into a 6-beat note. It's very rare that you'll see that. They're not really called for that often. It's more, these ones are the most common ones to see. These ones are fairly common, but not as common as these. You do sometimes see these ones. So what we've got here is half a beat, a quaver. If we dot a quaver, that's going to make that quaver 3/4 of a beat. Because half of half is a quarter, obviously. That's how dots work. I'm not going to go into any more detail over it than that. because I could sit here all night talking about it and showing you examples. I've got this to show you. Okay. Now, there are these things also called slurs. And I'll have to touch on these because it's very, very easy to mistake a tie for a slur. Ties and slurs look the same. You see here, you've got a tie, which is a line going from a note to a note, and a slur, which is also a line going from a note to a note. This is a tie going from a note to a note. This is a slur. This is a phrase mark, but it's also called a slur. You could say it's called a slur or a phrase mark. Now, what do you notice? Would anyone like to say what they notice the difference between ties and slurs?
Ties on the same note.
Yes, exactly. A tie, you can only tie a note to the same note. So, for example, if you look here, you've got C and C. You can only tie a C to a C, and it has to be the same pitch, because you can only extend one pitch by its own pitch. You can't extend it by another pitch. Same here, the E to the E tied. You can extend that E's length. You can't extend an E to an F, for instance. A slur, what a slur does is it tells you to play or sing from that note to that note smoothly, in a smooth fashion. So rather than like la la, like broken like that, it would be la la. So it's connected rather than. Same here. So you'll notice that a slur can go from one note to any other note. A tie cannot. A slur can go over a group of notes, whereas a tie cannot. It can only go from one note to the next note. When a slur is put over a lot of notes over the course of like 2 bars or 3 or 4 bars, it's usually known as a phrase mark. It tells you where the phrases are and things like that. So that's the difference between ties and slurs. There's nothing to do with slurs on the worksheet, so don't worry about that. It's just ties. Slurs is something else that we'll get into another time. You'll have to remind me. Okay, there we are. Right. Anyone got any questions about those before I move on?
No.
Okay. Next thing I'm going to go over is triplets. Now, triplets. Does anybody already know what a triplet is?
No.
No. Okay. So a triplet is a rhythmic figure. It's an altered rhythmic figure. What you do is you change the rhythm to fit more notes in the space of a beat. Okay, you'll understand what I'm talking about in a minute, because you'll be very familiar and you will have sung songs that use a lot of triplets.
Yeah.
So let's start with some quavers, for instance, okay? So if I put 8 quavers here, well, I've got, so the time signature is 4/4, by the way. I'll just put one in, just for sake of clarity. So we've got 4 beats in a bar. We've got, which means we can have 8 half beats. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now, if I want to fit more notes in the space of 1 beat, then I can do what's called turning it into a triplet. And a triplet looks like this. Okay, that is a triplet. Now, you might have seen that sometimes on your scores. A group of 3 notes with a 3 over it. And what it tells you is that you are playing 3 in the time of 2. 3 in the time of 2. If I go, have I got something on triplets here? I might have something on triplets. Ah, there we are. Yes. Okay, I'll show you that in a minute. Let's go crotchets first. We'll subdivide them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's pretty easy, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4.
4.
2, and 3, and 4, and. Okay. So from there, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. So with these two together, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. Now, triplets. Okay. Triplets, triplets, triplets. Let's see. Okay, just digest that for a second. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. See what's happening there?
Yeah.
3 in the time, or 3 to each beat, or 3 in the time of 2. So you can see here you've got 2 quavers to each beat. Yeah. And here you've got 3 quavers to each beat.
Yeah.
Right. So we've got 1 crotchet to each beat, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 quavers to each beat because they're half each, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. What I'll do is I'll highlight the main beats for you. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Obviously, they're all because they're all on main beat. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the blue ones are the main beats. Your 1, 2, 3, and 4, not your ands. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or you can count them like this: 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. Let me show you the sheet that I was on about before. Have a good look at that. So we've got 4/4 time signature. Here are our main beats: 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. That's triplets. That's how they work. Now they can appear anywhere at any point, and they don't have to be written out like that. So what you could have is something along the lines of, oh, I don't know. You could have something like this. We'll make that into a crotchet, and that into a crotchet, and that into a crotchet. Okay, we'll just isolate that bar. There, you can see there. 1, 2, 3, 4. These are your main beats. 1, 2, and a 3, 4. One, 2, and a 3, 4. Or I could turn this one into a triplet if I wanted to. Apparently not. Oh, there we go. Try that again. There we go. So I've now turned that beat into a triplet. 1, 2, and a 3, 4 and a. 1, 2, 3, 4. So what I'd have is 1, 2, and a 3, 4 and a. Now this takes practice. It takes a lot of practice. Learning to read triplets took me a long time at the beginning, but it's like with everything with music theory. Once you get it, and that's it. There's no going back from there. It's just important that you understand what triplets are and how they work. Now, I'm kind of making out here that triplets are kind of a make or break thing if you want to learn music theory. They're not. They're just something that you will come across in time. And now that you've had it sort of explained to you in a deep sense, you might find it easier to understand what they are and how they work, and easier to read them as well. It's just about exposure. Any questions about those?
Yeah, Dan, is it only quavers that are made into triplets?
No, you can make any notes into triplets. You opened up a can of worms there, Sandra. So, okay, yes, you can triplet anything. The most common ones to see are quaver triplets. You can also have semi-quaver triplets. I'm not going to go into them at the moment, but you can also have crotchet triplets, okay? So let's do crotchet triplets, right? So if you've got 4 beats in a bar, I can have, remember, triplets are 3 in the time of 2. So I could have 3 crotchets in the time of 2 crotchets here. If I just do that, yeah, I've got space there for 3 crotchets. Now you're looking at that, you probably think, hang on, there's 5 notes in that bar, we're in 4/4. Well, remember, this one is 3 in the time of 2. So rather than 1, 2, 3, 4, what we get here is 1 and 2. No, 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. That's hard to count and do. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm fitting 3 crotchets into the time of 2 crotchets, but they don't line up perfectly with the beats. Crotchet triplets are a little bit more difficult to grasp because they go in between the beats, and it's an unequal division. Whereas with quaver triplets, they fall on the beat mainly. So 1, 2 under, 3 under, 4 under. They're easier to grasp. With crotchet triplets, like I said, it's more difficult. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Or if I were to do these ones as triplets as well, so you could do something like this, and then you've got a full bar there of crotchet triplets. So I will count the main beat, but I will clap what is written here. Okay, so I'll start with a bar of 4 crotchets. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and that's where the main beat would lie, but you would sort of you're sort of going around the main beat. You're weaving in and out of it. That takes a little bit of practice to do. Okay.
Yeah, thanks, Danny.
No problem, no problem. So there we are. That's triplets for you. Now we're going to go over 2 new scales this week, E flat and A major. So these are scales with 3 sharps and flats. So the first week we went over ones with, we went over C major, and we went over scales with, or keys rather, with 1 sharp and flat. So 1 sharp was G major, 1 flat is F major. Then last week, wasn't it? Yes, it was. We went over key signatures with 2 sharps and flats. So that was B flat and E flat, which is B flat major, and F sharp and C sharp, which is D major. This week, we're going over E flat major and A major. E flat major is B flat, E flat, A flat, and A major is F sharp, C sharp, G sharp. Now then, let's go ahead and, oh, I wonder why that's not working. Can you all hear that?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. As long as you can hear that, that's fine. It's not the ideal sound, but there we go. Right. First of all, we'll build a scale of E flat major. So answers, what note is the scale of E flat major going to start on?
E flat.
E flat, yeah, that's it. So there's our first note, E flat of the scale. Now using the major scale formula, I have to work out what this scale is going to be. So the first note of the scale, remember here are your notes of the piano. There's E flat for the first one. Now, what's going to be the second note in the scale? Did I hear?
F.
F. That's it. F. And next?
G.
G.
G. Good, yeah. So we've gone from E flat, we've gone upper tone to F, and we go upper tone again to G. Now where are we going to go?
A flat.
A flat.
A flat, yes, good, because we need to go up a semitone, don't we? There we are. What about the next one?
E flat.
B.
Did I say that again? B flat, yeah.
B flat.
That's it, that's correct, yeah, B flat. Because A flat is a tone up from B flat. So we've gone so far, E flat, up a tone to F, up another tone to G, up a semitone to A flat, and then up a tone from A flat to B flat. Okay, I think we need another tone now, don't we? Where's that going to land us?
C.
C, yes, indeed. And where is another tone going to land us from there?
D.
D.
D. And then to finish,
E flat.
E flat, that's it. So that is our scale of E flat major. Remember me saying you can start on any note and use that major scale formula and you will get a major scale. So the scale sounds like this.
Can't hear that.
Can't hear it.
Can't hear it now.
That is a shame. That is a shame. Okay. Okay, well, you can see anyway. E flat, F, G, A flat, B flat, C, D, E flat. There you go, I can sing it for you. So there we are. Okay. That's the scale of E flat major. Now, how many flats are in this scale? Well,
3.
discounting that one, because that's a duplicate, so we'll get rid of that one.
3.
I don't need it. We have 3 flats, and they are in order: B flat, E flat, and A flat. So the key signature for this scale is going to look like this. There we go. That is the E flat major key signature. Now remember, if it, from the resources last week, you've got the key signature chart. You'll have seen that it follows a pattern. B flat. So B flat was the first one, which is for F major, and then B flat and E flat for B flat major. And now for the next one, B flat, E flat, and A flat, 3 flats, which is E flat major. Okay, now let's do A major. We'll do a scale of A major. Right then. Let's do, okay, I'm just going to get rid of, I'll get rid of that. Let's get rid of that, okay. Scale of A major. Starting note, obviously, I'm going to start it on this A here. Okay, now then, next note. B. Up a tone from A to B. Another tone.
C sharp.
C sharp, exactly. Good, good. C sharp. And the next note's obviously going to be a D. Is it going to be a D natural? Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, because we've gone up a tone from A to B, up a tone from B to C sharp, up a semitone from C sharp to D. Now we need another tone up from D. E. That's it. And then we need another. So we've got E. The next note's going to be an F, but we need to go tone. So it's going to be an F sharp. That's it. Now we need to go from F to G, but we need to go full tone. So it's going to go from F sharp to G sharp. Yeah. And then we go up a semitone again. We finish on A. That's our A major scale. How many sharps in this one? 3. So we've got F sharp in order, F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. So the first one we had, where is it? A major, there it is. There's the key signature for A major. So the first one, G major, remember, had 1 sharp, which was F. D major is the second one, which was 2 sharps, which was F sharp and C sharp. And then this one, 3 sharps, F sharp, C sharp, G sharp. And that's how we build. That's how we build scales, and we can keep going. We just keep going up to 7, usually. 7 sharps or 7 flats in a key. These will be like on most of the worksheets now, so you know you'll be practicing them quite regularly. Has anyone got any questions about scales or key signatures that I can answer now that you're not sure about?
I don't think so.
No. Okay. Right. So is there anything else I need to cover? Yes, the worksheet. I won't forget to do that again. Where are we? Okay. So here is your worksheet for this week. It's pretty similar to the last one. So first of all, what you need to do is you need to simply just write the name of the rest underneath and what its value is. So for example, this one is a crotchet rest, and that value of that is a crotchet, which is one beat or 1 beat silence. Is that
Brave.
one?
Semi-brave.
That one? Yeah.
Um,
And
Millen.
that one.
Braver.
That's it. This one is to just name the value of the note, so in beats. Yeah? Or you can say dotted something. So this would be a dotted minim.
Mm.
This would be a dotted crotchet or a dotted quaver. And then write in there what the value of those notes is.
Okay.
Okay, here we have the same exercise as last week, but this time with different scales, the scales that we just covered. Write the scale with no accidentals, so the key signature has been provided for you. Just write in the scale, and then next you write the scale with accidentals. So there's no key signature, you don't write a key signature in, and just write the accidentals on whichever notes they need to be next to. So there we are. I think that is it.